Hello everybody, Ray Pedraza on the McAllen Cable Network. We're here at 10th and Trenton, the busiest intersection in McAllen. Here with Commissioner Marcus Barrera, on the road with Commissioner Barrera, talking about our busy roads. Commissioner,
sure.
Thanks for joining us.
No problem.
All right. Over the past few weeks or several months, I guess, the city has been looking at increasing traffic volume, and we've identified our three busiest intersections, Commissioner, and this is number one, 10th and Trenton, right?
Yeah, as you can see, 10th and Trenton, it's approximately 2:30, and it's not even the busiest time of the day at the intersection. So it's now become, 10th and Trenton has now become the king of congestion in the city of McAllen.
58,000 vehicles, I'm told, daily,
That's
average
right.
daily.
That's
then
right.
Followed closely by 10th and Olana, and then Ware and Pecan also.
That's right. Obviously, 10th and Olana for years has been the most congested intersection, but now, because of all the development along the north side of town and along 10th and Trenton, you see the congestion increase. And obviously, you know, we're here in the H-E-B parking lot, and we've got a Sam's going up right across from us, and we've got a Target and Best Buy and all these big boxes all congregating at the intersection, so it creates a lot of traffic. So in the future, I think when the Sam's opens up, there's going to be even more traffic here. So we're continuing to explore ways to alleviate some of the congestion.
All right, and I bet you get asked all the time, how is the city addressing this traffic congestion? I know one of the ways is through synchronizing the signals. That's one way, right?
That's right, and then also trying to explore ways to just enlarge the pipeline, enlarge the roadway, and where we can. For example, at Nolana and 10th, we found a way to make the lanes go 6 lanes, 3 lanes going east, 3 lanes going west, which alleviated a lot of the congestion there. And there's a possibility of doing that on Trenton Road so that we alleviate some of that congestion on Trenton. But we're constantly looking for ways to expand the roadways, doing little things like putting in turn lanes or lengthening the turn lanes so that traffic can get in and out quicker. But all those are part of the repertoire of traffic control and congestion relief devices that we use.
All right, I understand something to look forward to in the future here on Trenton Road, as you said, expanding it to 3 lanes in each direction, and also understand 10th Street here behind us, expanding that to 6 lanes as well in the future from here to 107, right?
Well, that's what we're hoping to do as a traffic volume increases. Also trying to do 3 lanes, a Ware Road type road here north of Trenton so that we can alleviate some of the congestion in the area. So we're exploring that. Whether we end up doing it after all or not is another story, but we'll have to see.
All right, another, speaking of Ware Road, that's another stretch of highway that people ask about often, from 3 Mile Line to Trenton Road. What is our status with that?
Well,
stretch?
That's a project we've really put up on the front burner because, as you know, Ware Road at 3 Mile Line shrinks down from 6 lanes to 2 lanes, one going north, one's going south. So what we want to do, because TxDOT dropped the project a while back, we want to take it back on, and we've talked to TxDOT about doing that. And it would be a $6 million project to increase the lanes from 3 Mile Line to 5 Mile Line or to Trenton. And it would be 2 lanes going north, 2 lanes going south. That would alleviate a lot of the congestion that we have in that stretch between 3 Mile Line and Trenton. And we're working on that now, and we're looking at the possibility of funding it by putting in $1 million of our money, approximately $1 million from TxDOT, and approximately $4 million from the MPO, which is the Metropolitan Planning Organization. So that's in the works. We're really trying to get that traffic congestion on Ware from 3 Mile to Trenton alleviated.
All right, very good. And the City Commission meets regularly with the Traffic Department and Engineering Department to talk about which ones to prioritize?
Yes, and as you know, Ray, we have, City of McAllen has approximately 1,000 miles of roadways to maintain in the city. And so we're constantly going over the roadways with staff and looking at our most congested areas to try and resolve some of those problems. It's Sometimes it takes a while to do it because it's difficult to find money to do it, but we're constantly doing that on a weekly, monthly basis. It's the number one, traffic congestion is usually the number one complaint that we see as on the city commission or as a commissioner.
All right, and you guys recently compiled a list of the most traveled roadways. We're going to show you a graphic. Ware Road topping our list, followed by Nolana, number 2, Trenton, number 3, 10th Street, McCall, 23rd Street, 2nd Street. Commissioner, if somebody has a concern about my road is very congested or my intersection is very congested and we'd like a right turn lane, what would you suggest to people out there that are watching that have concerns about their particular area? What should they do?
Well, if they have a concern, they can email staff or they can email me if it's dealing with, well, really it doesn't matter where it is in the city, even though the different commissioners represent different parts of the city, we all take calls and emails from all over the city. But if they have a problem or they have a suggestion, they can email us or call us and let us know. Preferably email, because that way I can forward the email to staff if they send it to me, requesting or opening an inquiry or asking if there's a way that we can alleviate the problem. If there is, then we'll try to do it. If there isn't, then we'll at least explain why we can't change it currently and why the situation is as it is.
Got it. We have some road projects that are nearing completion as well. One on the minds of a lot of people is Bicentennial. A lot of people are asking, when does Bicentennial open up?
Actually, the stretch from Trenton to Dove should be opening up sooner than the stretch from Dove to Nolana, because from Dove to Nolana we have some railroad issues that we're finalizing, moving the railroad, and we're also fixing the bridge right there by the museum, so that needs to be fixed and that entryway needs to be alleviated. Once we have that done, we'll open up probably Dove to 10th within the next 6 months, and probably within the next 3 months we'll open up from Trenton to Dove, Bicentennial, that is, from Trenton to Dove, and that'll be just as it is south of Nolana. It'll be north of Nolana, and we'll continue the hike and bike trail along the east side of the road. So hopefully it may not be as wide as the trail is south of Nolana, but it'll be an area that we'll be able to utilize just like we do south of Nolana for people to jog and walk and have a good time.
All right, and speaking of that hike and bike trail, I understand the portion over here near 10th Street is actually going to extend north of 10th Street all the way to the Morris RDF, is that right?
That's right, and you will be able to connect it, and obviously the Morris RDF will be right next to a future leg of Bicentennial, which is from Trenton north to 107, which at some time in the future, as density around there increases, will open up.
All right. I had another question for you. What about the Bicentennial overpass at Expressway 83? Is that something that the city is looking at possibly doing something about in the future?
Sure, that's always been a priority for us. It's a TxDOT project. The problem, well, that overpass, Bicentennial overpass, is a state-owned facility area, so that whole area has been always maintained by them and always designed by them. Well, since TxDOT has run out of money, we've decided to kind of take it on our own to try and work with them to fix that area. So if we can get some funding from TxDOT, then the city will help them out with some money to make that Bicentennial overpass into an underpass, so that the highway goes over Bicentennial and you can go impeded underneath the highway. So that's what we're looking at doing there, and that would alleviate a lot of problems with getting onto the highway and getting to the downtown area or to the airport or the mall. So that's high on our priority list, and as soon as we can get a funding equation that works, then we're going to start working on actually building it.
Very good. Any other road projects that come to mind that you think we should?
Well, we're just constantly looking for different areas to improve, and if we can improve them efficiently, then we'll do it. If it if the cost is way out of the line with what we can actually do, then we'll start looking for TxDOT or the MPO to come help. But as of right now, these are the most congested areas that we just talked about, and that's where we're focusing. But that doesn't mean that we don't stop working on the other, 900 miles of roads in the city. We are looking at those too. We have a street maintenance system that we spend about $3.5 million on every year to pave our streets and make sure they're free of potholes. And then we actually have another $3.5 million that we use to repave, to recycle the pavement and repave the roads and neighborhoods and the roads, commercial roads all over the city, so that when you're in McAllen. And some people may take it for granted, but if you go to some of the outlying cities, the minute you get into them, you'll realize that you're not in McAllen anymore. Absolutely. Because the roads aren't paved as well and the potholes aren't fixed. So we make that a priority because we know that for business and for our constituents and the citizens of McAllen, that's what they want, and so that's what we're making sure that we have good roads in the city of McAllen.
Very good. And I guess what are the positive things to look at about the increased traffic volume is that people are visiting and shopping in our city. I guess we should be happy about that, right?
That's true. In fact, one of the members of the Chamber of Commerce said that they recently brought somebody in to McAllen trying to recruit him to put up a business here. And the minute they got onto the roads, they could tell that they were in a city that they felt was tops in the state, or was one of the cities that was world class, because our roads were unlike any of the roads that they had traveled on in a city our size. So they noticed that right away, and it's when they do see that, they see a city that takes these types of things as a priority, and business people, they're going to locate here, want to see that commitment from the city, and so that's what we're proud of, and hopefully we'll continue to do that.
Very good. And once again, we invite the public's feedback, whether it's by calling the engineering department, the traffic department, our Facebook page. Go to Facebook McAllen facebook.com/McAllenTX, and of course you can leave a comment there for us as well. Commissioner, we thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem. Thanks a lot, Ray.
All right. And we thank you for watching. I'm Ray Pedraza, and this is the McAllen Cable Network.